Coronation Street appears to be hinting at the possibility of Steve and Tracy McDonald getting back together this week after the recent news that Claire Sweeney will be leaving the ITV soap following a 3-year stint. Steve and Tracy's marriage ended when he discovered she had been cheating on him with his former football idol, who later worked locally as a handyman, Tommy Orpington. The pair eventually relocated to Spain, but Tracy struggled with being so far from her family and soon returned to Weatherfield. She now resides in Ken Barlow's home alongside her former partner. Episodes airing this week showed Steve's current girlfriend, Cassie Plummer, dressing up with a secret intention to pop the question. However, her plans collapsed when Steve received a call informing him that his father Jim had died. During Tuesday's installment, Tracy revealed Cassie's proposal idea to Steve, who had been puzzled by Cassie's unusual behavior. She then briefly comforted him with a hug, offering a moment of unexpected warmth. Although the interaction was brief, it stood out as a rare display of kindness from Tracy toward her ex-husband. It raises questions about whether Tracy is finally accepting Steve's relationship with Cassie, despite their long-standing tensions. Another possibility is that she simply felt sympathy for him while he was mourning his father. But it might also suggest that Tracy still has lingering feelings for Steve. That final possibility could link directly to Cassie's confirmed departure storyline later this summer. Claire Sweeney is set to leave the soap after securing the role of Miss Hannigan in the UK and Ireland touring production of the musical Annie. The actress previously shared that she feels incredibly grateful for the opportunities she has had throughout her life and career. She explained that joining the soap at the age of 52 came as a wonderful surprise and marked an important turning point. Sweeney also admitted that earlier in her career, she was always focused on what opportunity might come next. Now, however, she says she is truly appreciating her time on the show and enjoying every moment of the experience. Coronation Street has revealed the result of the surgery for baby Harper, the daughter of David and Shona Platt, during tonight's episode. The infant had to undergo an operation to remove a lump from her neck, while her anxious parents waited nearby and tried to remain calm. Meanwhile, at home, Nick Tilsley phoned Gail Chadwick and listed all the possible complications that might happen during the procedure, irritating the rest of the family who were simply trying to enjoy breakfast. Around 2 hours into the lengthy 10-hour surgery, David and Shona, who were already feeling tense with each other, were taken aback when Nick, Bethany, Jody, Toya, and Sarah arrived at the hospital despite being asked not to come. Although David insisted everyone should leave, apart from Toya, who had brought food, Shona welcomed the extra support, particularly after Jody quietly admitted it had been her idea for them to show up. Later, the atmosphere quickly turned worrying when they noticed 2 nurses rushing into Harper's room. The staff refused to allow David and Shona inside, only mentioning there had been some bleeding. The vague explanation only made David more anxious, and he lashed out at his relatives, saying he didn't want their help and that their presence was only making the situation worse before asking them to leave. Not long afterwards, Jody came back to the hospital with snacks for David and tried to comfort him, sharing a brief hug before letting him return to the waiting area. She later chatted with a young mother in the corridor who mistakenly believed Jody and David were a couple. Rather than correcting her, Jody played along and seemed to enjoy the attention. As the hours continued to pass and the couple kept waiting nervously, a doctor eventually appeared to deliver the outcome of the operation. Fortunately, the update was positive, with the doctor confirming that Harper was completely fine, prompting David to joke that his daughter was proper hard. David and Shona embraced and told each other how much they loved one another, while Jody quietly observed the emotional moment from the other side of the window. Coronation Street references Gail Chadwick once again tonight as the Platt family deal with a stressful situation. Although the character has departed from the soap, it's clear she still cares deeply about her relatives and continues to worry about them from afar. In Wednesday's episode, the day arrives for baby Harper's surgery, and tensions are high as David and Shona fear what the result could mean for their daughter. However, they are not the only ones feeling uneasy about the situation. In an early moment at the Platt house, Nick Tilsley receives a phone call from Gail, who is checking in while staying in France. Nick grows irritated as she repeatedly asks him about the possible complications of the operation. He explains to the others that Gail wants him to go through every risk involved with the procedure. Nick also brings up another family member who is currently absent, mentioning that Gail wants to ensure Max is informed about everything that is happening. Later at the hospital, Gail remains part of the conversation as the Platts argue about who should reply to her worried messages in the family group chat. As the day continues, they hope they will soon have some good news to pass along to her. Viewers can watch how the storyline unfolds when the episode airs tonight on ITV1, while it is also available to stream earlier on ITVX and YouTube. Helen Worth, the actress behind Gail, left the series during Christmas 2024 after an extraordinary 50-year run on the show. Her character moved to France to begin a new chapter in life after marrying Jesse Chadwick. During the Christmas Day episode in 2025, Gail briefly appeared again by sending a festive video greeting to her family. In tonight's installment, however, Gail does not appear on screen, with all references to her happening through off-screen conversations. Meanwhile, Max Turner was last seen in March 2025 when he received a 6-year prison sentence for setting fire to the Platt family house. In tonight's episode, Bethany says she will call him to let him know how Harper's operation turns out. Coronation Street will see Lauren Bolton cause a scene next week when she throws a drink over Amy Barlow, just before Amy is due to go on an important date with Ollie Driscoll. However, after Maggie encourages Lauren to win him back, the question is whether Ollie could end up returning to her. At the Rovers, Amy openly announces that she and Ollie are about to go on their very first real date, something that clearly irritates Lauren. Shortly afterwards, while serving drinks to the pair, Lauren ends up spilling a pint all over Amy. According to a source from the soap, the situation is extremely uncomfortable because it is actually a genuine mistake from Lauren, though it appears completely deliberate. The insider explains that Lauren is already upset about Ollie moving forward with Amy, and then accidentally ruins Amy's stylish outfit just before her big night out. The mishap leaves Lauren looking bad and raises questions about how Ollie will react to the incident, not to mention Amy's response. The following day, Amy is thrilled after the date, while Ollie stops by the pub and mentions that he plans to take his new girlfriend out for dinner again that evening. Steve and Ben are pleased to hear the news, but Maggie quietly advises Lauren to go home, dress up, and head to the same restaurant to remind Ollie of what he could be missing. It remains to be seen whether Maggie's idea will succeed or if it will end up creating more problems for both her and Lauren. Later at Speed Doll, Ollie and Amy sit down to enjoy their meal together, but their evening takes an unexpected turn when Lauren arrives accompanied by Betsy Swain. Wearing an eye-catching outfit, Lauren quickly draws Ollie's attention the moment she enters. In fact, he struggles to keep his eyes off her throughout the evening. The insider adds that Maggie's interference might actually have the effect she was hoping for. Not long after Lauren and Betsy appear, Ollie seems noticeably interested in his former partner again. It remains unclear whether Amy will pick up on the tension or whether Ollie will manage to hide his feelings. However, Lauren's arrival may have complicated things and reopened unresolved emotions between the former couple. Later in the week, Ollie confronts Maggie about her attempt to disrupt his romantic night. Soon after, Lauren gathers the courage to confess to Ollie that she still has feelings for him, and even admits she wishes they were still together. This raises the possibility that Lauren and Ollie could reunite. It also leaves viewers wondering why Maggie has suddenly decided to support Lauren so strongly. Coronation Street airs on weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.